love, light, peace, and abundance. It is I, Queen Essence, here for another episode of Poetry Unraveled. And I must say, this is my third take. This is my third time at this. And I'm trusting in the divine flow that what is meant to be expressed through the airwaves tonight will come through with precision and the proper frequency to activate, to inspire, to encourage, to remind those that it is intended for. If this is your first time here, thank you. Thank you for sharing space and tuning in. If you are returning, thank you. And hey, I will that you all have had a productive and positive week thus far. I will that you are at a place of peace to receive the transmission for this evening. And we're just going to go roll with it. As always, I have opened up the space to be a conduit to channel what is meant to be expressed to you all at this time, and not just those that tune in, however, universally as well. I also realized that we're in the month of February, and I did not do a love poem last week for Valentine's Day week. So this episode, I've already selected a poem to be read tonight that is a love poem. So stick around to receive the vibrations and transmissions from that artistic expression from my heart to yours. And okay, let's see, where should I begin? We are in a time, right, where it is vitally important for us to respond to our unique connection to Source, to God, to Allah, to Jesus, to whoever it is that resonates with you, right? For the sake of this broadcast, and to keep it simplistic, I'm going to say Source. However, interject whatever resonates with you, okay? It is important for us to respond to our connection to Source. It is important for us to know who we are as an individual and what we came here to do. And in us doing so, we're going to be a part of the solution to what it is that's happening in the world. In a world full of chaos and confusion, there's going to need to be some individuals that are grounded, that are rooted in a higher perspective of what it is that's taking place, because there's a lot that is being put out that is designed to cause fear mongering, confusion, separation, sadness, sorrow, despair. And although when you look at things from the physical surface and you are clinging to a system that was never created from a balanced place to begin with, it is understandable why one would have those experiences. However, when you choose to pursue a higher understanding, a more divine understanding of what it is that's taking place, it alleviates those adjectives, those expressions of fear and despair and confusion, right? Those are all lower frequencies that, if collectively we remain in that energy, we will continue to attract more of that energy. When those of us that are here to shine a light in the midst of darkness, because it's getting dark, it's getting dark, and I can only imagine, and this ain't even my plan. However, based on what I've seen, the little bit I've tapped into to be abreast of what's happening, um, I can see it getting a lot more darker, um, because of the ones that's in control and of the narrative, right? The ones that are in control of the news and the newspaper, and the ones making the decisions for the country, right? However, one thing that I think is very important for us to realize, explore, and honor is that sovereignty is a real thing, right? Just like free will is a real thing, sovereignty is a real thing. So you can choose to give your power over to a structure that is falling, right? And hope that they figure it out before the entire building burns down, right? Or you can stand in your sovereignty, right? And choose to be a being that wants to operate opposite of what has already been produced, right? Like we've done that already, right? The whole system, whatever resonates with you, we've done that already. And it didn't work, right? It wasn't all inclusive. It wasn't even human. You know what I'm saying? Like it was set up in such a way so that the ones that it would benefit. And the ones that it didn't, it wouldn't. And there was really nothing that could be done about it from the standpoint of those that were in harmony with the system, but wasn't being treated properly, wasn't treated fairly. And it would appear that that was the only option, right? Because we gave our power over to a group of people or a structure or a system or a belief system, right? That we thought would benefit all of us, right? It would have all of our best interests in heart. However, it did not. And there has been example after example after example that it never intended for it to have all collectively our best interests at heart, in mind, or in spirit, right? So we're in a time where we get to choose new, right? Whenever something old is fading away, new, it's a time for new to come in. I remember, and I may have shared it on one of these episodes or maybe on my TikTok. However, I remember a time where I was um, I was divorced and I was starting life all over again. And I was looking around my room, and my life looked very different than had how it had looked prior. And someone that I knew had expressed the idea to me because I was feeling kind of bad about that, right? And I was thinking like, oh my God, I have to start all over again, right? And he expressed the idea that there are many people who wish that they could start brand new, right? So whereas I felt like, and it was a reality, right? My world had crumbled, and I was picking up the pieces to put it back together and figure out what life would look like. It was scary. You know what I'm saying? It was scary. I was a newly divorced um, and had two children, and I had to figure life out, and I didn't have parents to help guide me and support me because they had already transitioned. And I didn't want to put too much burden on my grandmother, and the world says I'm grown, right? I think I was like 22 by this time, and I had the responsibility of figuring out what new looked like for me and my children. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful that this person shared that with me because it allowed for me to see things from a higher perspective, right? It allowed for me to raise my vibration. And instead of feeling bad for myself, I was grateful for the things that I had gone through that had gotten me to this point. And then I began to allow myself to explore what my future could look like, right? What my tomorrow could bring, and what type of reality I wanted to create or co-create for my children, right? So that principle applies to where we're at now, right? We can choose to look at it from the standpoint of the system is falling and this person is doing this and that person is doing this, and this person don't have the right, and and try to uphold the things that have been shown us that it wasn't right, right? It wasn't in alignment with source, right? It wasn't in alignment with who any of us identify as the Most High, right? It uplifted man, right? And it did it in such an imbalanced way, right? And at the same time, not only was it imbalanced, however, it was also very strategic in the way that it was executed, because it was intentionally done in such a way that our connection to the Most High was severed. So that way we would never realize our natural born sovereignty, right? We only answer to the Most High. That's the only being that we have to answer to, right? Now, in nature, when you're a parent, right, your children, they answer to you because, you're the one that's guiding them until they learn and grow and come of age to where they can safely, embark upon their journey. As a husband and a wife, right? There's a responsibility to answer to each other based upon an agreement that you both made, right? Outside of the natural order of things, right? There's really no one that we answer to other than the Most High. Nature, right? We answer to nature. We have to surrender to nature, right? When it's raining outside, we get an umbrella, right? When it's snowing and there's ice on the ground, we either don't drive at all or we drive carefully, right? We surrender. How about outside of that, a structure that has been set up by man to tell us what's right and what's wrong and what should be and what shouldn't be? That's not in alignment with the divine orchestration of the universal blueprint of what is, right? That's not in alignment with the all that is. Free will really is a thing, right? It really is. So if we have free will by nature, then who is man to come along and tell us what we can and cannot do? Now, I'm not talking about the devilish, evil things. I'm not talking about that, right? So let's keep it in alignment, right? I'm speaking for those of us that are positive, loving beings, because there's many of us that have really great hearts, right? We're very loving, we're very caring, very nurturing, very considerate, very mindful, right? That we don't require that governance in that way because we have enough consciousness due to our connection, spirit to source, to the Most High, to govern our own selves, right? Because we want to be pleasing, right? We want to honor our father, our mother, however you do the Most High, right? We want to um, be the best that we can be as a representation of the Most High's love and power, right? So those of us that think like that and operate like that, it is time for us, right? Those that are innovative, that are the creatives, that are the visionaries, right? Those that have always dreamed of the world being a better place, right? Understanding that something was missing, right? Understanding that love is the answer and has always been the key, right? It's time for us to remember who we are and why we came here so that we can fulfill our divine purpose. It is time for us to implement what it is that has resonated with us to do all along. I remember early on in my development, I was standing in my kitchen and I was having a conversation with a gentleman, and I don't even remember the context of the conversation. I just remember me expressing. Um, I think I might have asked him does he know what his purpose is, and he said no, he didn't know. He asked me, and I said my purpose is to spread love in the world, right? Like I want to heal the world was my exact expression. And I said, he was like, well, how you gonna do that? And I said, one person at a time, loving one person at a time, hugging one person at a time, being present to listen and share space, one person at a time. At the time, this was before the internet and the World Wide Web became a really big thing and you were able to touch people all across the world. So in my mind, I had the thought process that If I can just touch one person, right? And that one person magnify that in the next person, and the next person, the next person, then that's causing a universal shift, right? It's causing universal change, and I'm doing my part. There's others of us that have had thoughts like that or different thoughts, but in the same vein where we thought bigger picture, right? Not just us and our personal family and our personal situation and circumstances. We thought about how and what we can do to contribute to the world, right? I saw so many people that were sad and hurting because of my gifts. I was able to experience their vibration, their resonance, right? I was able to tap into their Akashic records and feel that they were carrying past life carryover energy that was affecting them in this lifetime. And I wanted to help bring peace to that. I wanted to help bring balance to that and remind them that they get to choose differently this time, right? That you don't have to endure the same things that you did prior. And again, there's many of us that think in big picture terms because we understand that um, we are here. There's several ways that it's coming to my mind to say this. We are here living out our divine blueprint, right? We have prepared lifetimes for this time right here. We've prepared lifetimes for this. We have many gifts that we have cultivated, many skills, much knowing, right? That it is in this lifetime that we will express our mastery for us to know and for others to be able to benefit from it, right? However, we also have an assignment from the Most High, right? That we are here to complete. And in us having that assignment, we are co-creating with the Most High. You know, we have been sent. However, we also agreed, right? So it's a multi-dimensional thing for some of us that's taking place. However, it is um, on a higher dimension for all of us, if that's clear. And we are in a time where we have the freedom to express what resonates with us, right? It is time to respond to your inner compass without fear, without doubt, without concern about what someone else is going to think or say. Many of the ones that forge forward first, the trailblazers, were seen as crazy. They were seen as weirdos until the time came where what they were trailblazing doing was needed. The value in it was seen. So I encourage everybody that resonates with this transmission that you receive this on all levels as your activation to wake up and remember and do what it is that that resonates with you. Respond to what resonates with you. And it's okay if nobody understands it. It's okay if people think you crazy. It's okay if nobody wants to help and support you because each step you take to respond to your divine calling, your source, your team, your um, your higher self is going to make sure that everything that you need when you need it is present. So you don't have to worry about that at all. The world is in a place where the vibration needs to be risen. So I encourage you to explore what is it that you can do, right? What is it that you can do as an individual being to add to the shift that's already taking place? It's already happening because the balance is needed between masculine and feminine energy, right? Masculine is structure, is security, is stability. You know, feminine is intuition, flow, surrender, receptivity, right? There has to be a balance in and of us as individuals, has to be a balance within us. And then as a result of the balance within us, we emit that energy outward for others to see what it looks like to be in balance, to be sovereign. I had an experience where I was expressing to someone um, how to interact with me, how to interact with me, and what is acceptable to me and what is not okay. And the way that they processed that was that I have walls up, and I'm basically giving them a hard time. However, the reality is that I wasn't, and I didn't have to accept it because it wasn't true. What is true is I'm sovereign, and most people are not accustomed to another individual that is sovereign, meaning I'm in control of me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm responsible for me. So I'm not going to allow anybody to treat me any kind of way or talk to me any kind of way or do anything that makes me uncomfortable. And I'm going to speak on it. I'm going to verbalize it. I'm always going to be respectful and pleasant until a different expression is needed. And when that expression is needed, I will gladly, confidently, indefinitely express myself to be sure that the message is expressed and received in the spirit in which is being given. You have that same ability to be sovereign, and the only being that you have to answer to is the Most High, right? So you do what resonates with you. What is your spirit calling you to do? What have you dreamed about since you were a child? What legacy do you want to leave behind? What contribution do you want to be imprinted on the universal record for this shift that's taking place throughout creation, right? What example do you want to be for those that's looking on? I started to say for your children, however, it's bigger than just your children and my children. It's our children. It's others' children. It's the world, right? What do you want to leave behind? Matter of fact, what do you want to live today? Right? What if you could change, would you change about your existence, about your reality? Right? What would you explore? Where would you go? You know? Think about those things, right? And if you feel moved to leave them in the comments below, I would love to read them, right? However, it's not necessary. You don't have to. You can, take time to yourself and really think and explore, maybe journal about it, maybe meditate on it, maybe pray about it, maybe chant on it, whatever your practice is, whatever resonates with you. And then decide that you're going to give it a try, right? You're going to explore it. Don't try it, explore it, see what you can put in motion and make it a reality, right? Shape and mold your reality because you have power over that, you have the power to co-create with source. That is one of the blessings, the beautiful gifts that we have being here in this physical. And many of us have forgotten that. And it's not by coincidence that it's been forgotten, right? Because the way that the system has been set up, you separate church and state, right? And then there's so much separation in between, the church and spirituality and the divine connection to Most High. Some people are, unclear on what avenue to choose because there's so many avenues to choose from, right? And I don't think anyone is the wrong one, and I don't think anyone is the right one. I think that you have an inner compass, and what is inside you will tell you what is right or best for you. And what's best for you today doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be best for you tomorrow. So allow yourself the room to grow, to bloom, to sprout, right? Whatever it is that resonates with you today, if you get to a certain point and you realize it doesn't resonate anymore, that means it served its purpose, right? It gave you what you needed to receive at that juncture in your journey. And now you respond to what resonates with you next. We don't have to be so hardcore locked into one particular whatever resonates with you. You have a divine connection. Respond to it, explore it, strengthen it. You already have the answers inside. And I along with many others, are here to help you remember. So, if that resonates with you, I encourage you to check out my website. The link should be somewhere in the description. And if it's not, it is www.shineyourlight777.life. It's www.shineyourlight777.life. I have quite a bit available over on my website to assist and support you in remembering who you are and what your divine purpose is. And I would be honored to support you and assist you and guide you on your path to whatever extent the Most High has for me to do so. And willfully, this third time is a charm. And everything has been recorded clearly and it comes through. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to close out. And I'm going to share today's poem. This is called Vision of You. A vision was gifted, vivid and clear. I see you waiting for me, always near. Your locks, like free winds, dance in the breeze. Your complexion, kissed by the sun, a golden tease. Your eyes, sparkling like stars in the night, twinkling with wisdom, holding pure light. Your touch, a calm as the ocean's song. In your presence, peace has always belonged. Your lips, laced with nectar so sweet, a taste of mango where desire meets. I do not know your name at birth. I call you my mirror, reflecting my worth. Your spirit will merge with mine in divine flow, creating an energy, a fire we'll both know. Your presence will electrify my soul, igniting a connection, fueling my goal. Though I've yet to meet, though I've yet to see your face in this plane, I feel you in my heart. It's there you remain. I send you energy here and now, manifesting this vision as a sacred vow. Come to me, King. Bring your love. Together we'll soar, blessed from above. All your creativity, confidence, and grace, your sensitivity, intellect, a sacred embrace. Your patience, your spirituality, so deep. I honor you. The love will keep. Preserve yourself for me, my divine. As the stars in the sky, our paths will entwine. My love will wait beyond what's seen. A love that's infinite, soft, and serene. Poem. It is my will that artistic expression from my heart to yours has been received in the spirit in which it was given. It is my will that you have a positive, productive, and peaceful rest of the week. Until next Thursday, we'll meet here again. A light be, y'all.